Well, moving on, a former customer of Citibank and his associates are protesting in front of the Citibank office on MG Road. Now, the bank reportedly accepted cash remittance into the current account of one Ramesh, a tour operator who had actually closed the said account in March this year. Now, 21 customers of Ramesh reportedly remitted 24 lakh rupees into the said closed account after it was closed. In fact, banks do allow for few customers this particular facility where their customers can directly remit the amount into their account, especially current accounts. Now, in this particular case, a former customer of Citibank and his associates are protesting in front of the bank because the bank reportedly accepted cash remittance into the current account of the individual who was a tour operator who had actually closed the said account in March this year. Now, a case has been booked against 4 members of the Karnataka Rakshana Vedike who allegedly assaulted a BBMP assistant engineer yesterday. The accused have been identified as Arvind, Bharat, Ravi Kumar and Satish Gowda. They have been booked under IPC sections 353, 323, 504 and 34 by the Yelahanka police. Now, Pradeep, an assistant engineer, along with other workers, had gone around different areas in Yelahanka pulling down illegal flexes. They were assaulted by KRV members who asked them to stop pulling down their flex boards. Following a heated argument, the trio assaulted the engineer. As the public began gathering, the youths fled the spot. Now, the names were identified from the posters that the engineer was removing at the time. School students were found sniffing adhesives like drugs in Belgavi. Now, an office bearer of an NGO spotted the kids and handed them over to the Shahapur police. Now, the police in turn warned the parents of the kids before letting them go. But this incident has created a scare and fear among not just parents but also among the police, who are worried that the drug menace is spreading its tentacles not just in colleges but in schools too. Basically, what they do is that they put it into these plastic bags and then take these plastic covers and then sniff it from that. In fact, he's explaining how they actually go about sniffing these adhesives. Now, these 4 school students were found sniffing adhesives like drugs in Belgavi. An office bearer of an NGO spotted them and handed them over to the Shahapur police. Now, the police in turn warned the parents of the kids before letting them go. But the incident has created a scare and fear among not just parents but also among the police, who are worried that the drug menace is spreading its tentacles not just in colleges, which was seen so far, but in schools as well. Well, they're just explaining what they do. They actually drop the contents into a plastic cover and hold the plastic cover to their mouth and then breathe in and breathe out. In fact, you will see this particular boy actually showing how they go about this work. Well, to know more about this, I'm joined by my colleague Arun. Arun, it's not just colleges anymore, but this habit is actually getting pretty strong now in schools as well, we see.
That's perhaps, if one could use the word democratization, the evil democratization of drugs. so to speak, Nolan. It's a very disturbing development. Look at this particular, these visuals. It clearly indicates the fact that school students who are unable to actually afford buying drugs resort to other substitutes, other psychotropic and narcotic substitutes like varnishes, paint thinners, even you have a lot of these adhesives, etc., which they take a fancy for and begin sniffing. Now, this has assumed big proportions, gigantic proportions, not just in metros but even smaller cities like Belagavi. And that seems to be a worrying development, because remember, the police, in this particular case, they actually called in the parents of the minors, because these 4 people who were actually picked up and handed over to the Shahpur police happened to be minors. So their parents were called in, and they were advised to keep a closer watch on the wards to ensure that these kind of incidents don't kind of multiply. But clearly a very disturbing development, because it clearly indicates or shows that the hold of the drug lords and perhaps their peddlers seems to be on the rise, and very little seems to be done as far as curbing this drug menace is concerned, Nolan.
Now, in this case, they are just what, Fevicol or Fevibond. Now, how can shops stop selling it to these kids? Because sometimes you really do not know whether it's for the right purpose or the wrong purpose.
In this particular case or in other cases where, remember, these are not items which are banned. These are basically adhesives, etc., which could be used for artwork in schools or colleges, or even for professional purposes. So there is no ban on these kind of drugs. So the onus as such lies on the parents to ensure that they keep a tight watch on what exactly is happening, where the wards are moving about, how are they responding to the changing social environment, whether they see any kind of behavioral discrepancies which need to be routinely monitored, etc. So the onus as such lies with the parents and does not necessarily lie with the shopkeepers.
Right.
Because very often, as you rightly pointed out, youngsters and even minors do go and buy adhesives, etc., from a stationery shop. That cannot be banned as such, Nolan.
Right, Arun. Many thanks for all that. Now, the mysterious death of Sunanda Pushkar has spectacularly come to life. A top doctor from the All India Institute of Medical Sciences has claimed that he was pressurized into giving a false report. Dr. Sudhir Gupta, who headed the team of forensic experts that conducted the post-mortem, has written to the Health Ministry and the Chief Vigilance Commission. The doctor complained that he was pressured by top officials to show it as a natural death. Dr. Gupta has also claimed that he is now being targeted because he did not bow to the pressure, and gave a report stating that Sunanda's death was caused by drug poisoning that could be both suicidal or homicidal. Meanwhile, Subramanian Swamy has reacted on the issue as well and said that he is not surprised by the doctor's report. He claims that Sunanda Pushkar had said that she would expose IPL deals and Vadra's name would also have surfaced.
कल टेलीविजन चैनल पर ये समाचार आने के बाद कि उनका कोई स्पेसिफिक आरोप है, मैंने एम्स के डायरेक्टर से इस संदर्भ में डिटेल्ड जानकारी लेने के लिए उन्हें लिखकर भेजा है।
इसमें कोई आश्चर्य नहीं है। मैं तो शुरू से कह रहा हूं कि ये प्रोफेशनल गैंग ने इनकी हत्या की, और सुनंदा का चरित्र ऐसा है वैसा है, ये सब बेकार की बात है। हर व्यक्ति को हमारे देश में मूलभूत अधिकार है जिंदा रहने के लिए, और वो उनकी जान ऐसे ली गई, उसकी पूरी जांच होनी चाहिए। और उसमें ऐसी बातें हैं जो निकले हैं, उससे तो लगता है कि निश्चित तौर पर हत्या हुई है। और उसने कई लोगों को बताया था